Picture this. It's 1975. A single factory worker making $13,000 a year walks into a bank and gets approved for a mortgage on a 3-bedroom house. His wife stays home with the kids. They own 1 car. They take a vacation every summer. They have money in savings. Life isn't luxurious, but it's comfortable. It's stable. Now, picture 2026. A couple, both college-educated professionals, both working full-time, making a combined $140,000 a year. They can barely afford rent on a 2-bedroom apartment. They both need cars to get to work. They have no savings. The credit card has a balance. When their car needed a $1,200 repair last month, it went on another credit card. They're stressed, they're exhausted, and they're constantly asking themselves, we make 6 times what that factory worker made. Where does it all go? My name is Sam, and today we're solving a mystery that's been destroying the middle class for 30 years. How is it possible that 2 incomes leave you broker than 1 income used to? Not just broker, actually worse off in every measurable way. This isn't about working harder or budgeting better. This is about a structural trap that most people don't even know they're in. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how it works, who profits from it, and why escaping it requires doing the exact opposite of what everyone tells you to do. If you've ever felt like no matter how much you and your partner earn together, you can't get ahead, if you've wondered why your parents bought a house on 1 income while you can't afford rent on 2, hit that subscribe button. This channel breaks down the financial systems that keep people stuck. Let me tell you about Sarah and Jason. Sarah is 34, works in marketing, makes $75,000 a year. Jason is 36, works in IT, makes $65,000. Combined household income, $140,000. They live in a mid-sized city, nothing crazy expensive like San Francisco or New York. On paper, they're killing it. Top 25% of household incomes in America. They should be comfortable. They should be saving. They should be building wealth. Instead, they're 1 unexpected expense away from disaster at all times. Here's their monthly budget, and I want you to pay attention because this is where the trap reveals itself. Combined take-home after taxes, health insurance, and 401k contributions, about $8,100 a month. Rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent area, $2,400. Student loans, they both have them, $920 combined. 2 car payments because they both need to get to work, $700. Car insurance for both, $280. Gas for both cars, $300. Childcare for their 1 kid, age 3, $1,800. Groceries, $600. Utilities, internet, phones, $320. Health insurance premiums not covered by employer, $380. That's $7,700 before they've spent a single dollar on clothing, entertainment, eating out, home repairs, medical copays, or savings. They have $400 a month of margin for everything else for their entire lives. 1 bad month, 1 unexpected expense, 1 anything, and they're going backwards. Now let me show you what Jason's dad's budget looked like in 1978 when he was the same age. Jason's dad made $18,000 a year as an electrician. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $84,000 in today's dollars, so he made less than Sarah and Jason make combined, way less. His monthly budget? Mortgage on a 3-bedroom house, $340. 1 car payment, $125. Car insurance for 1 car, $45. Gas for 1 car, $60. Childcare, $0. His wife stayed home. Groceries, $200. Utilities and phone, $80. Health insurance, $20, mostly covered by employer. Total, $70. His take-home pay was about $1,200 a month. He had $330 left over. That's 27% of his income in pure margin. Sarah and Jason make 66% more in real terms and have 88% less margin. So what happened? Everyone will tell you it's housing costs. And yeah, housing is part of it. But there's something way more insidious going on. Something that almost nobody talks about. And a creator I really respect, Bob Invests, he actually broke this down brilliantly in his video on the two-income trap. He showed how the whole system is designed to extract money from dual-income households specifically. I'm going to show you the mechanics he identified, plus 3 more that make it even worse. Here's how the two-income trap actually works. Trap mechanism 1. The bidding war. When Jason's dad was buying a house in 1978, he was competing against other single-income families. The average buyer could afford a mortgage based on one salary. That kept prices in check. When Sarah and Jason went to buy a house, they were competing against other dual-income families. Every house that hit the market had 10 offers. 8 of those offers were from couples combining 2 incomes. The bidding war pushed prices up until they matched what dual-income households could afford. So housing prices didn't just go up because of inflation or scarcity. They went up because the pool of buyers doubled their purchasing power by adding a second income. And sellers captured that extra purchasing power by raising prices. The house that Jason's dad bought for $45,000, 3 times his single income, now costs $425,000, 3 times Sarah and Jason's combined income. But here's the trap. Jason's dad could lose his job, and his wife could enter the workforce to save the house. Sarah and Jason both lose their jobs. They lose the house immediately. No backup plan. They paid more and got less security. Trap mechanism 2. The fake wealth effect. When you go from 1 income to 2 incomes, it feels like you got rich. Suddenly there's way more money coming in every month. The temptation is to upgrade everything. Better apartment, nicer cars, better neighborhood for the kids, restaurants more often because you're both working and exhausted. But here's what most people miss. That second income isn't free money. It comes with mandatory costs. Sarah's $75,000 salary sounds great, but here's what it actually costs to earn it. Taxes on the second income at their marginal rate, about $20,000. Childcare so Sarah can work, $21,600. Second car payment, insurance, gas, maintenance, $14,400. Work, wardrobe and dry cleaning, $1,800. Convenience spending, takeout, meal kits because no time to cook, $4,800. Commuting costs and time, $2,400. Total cost of Sarah working, $65,000. She makes $75,000 and it costs $65,000 to earn it. Net contribution, $10,000 a year. That's $833 a month. For that $833 a month, Sarah works 45 hours a week, commutes 7.5 hours a week, and is too exhausted to enjoy her life. Jason's dad's wife didn't work. Know what her contribution was? Free childcare worth $21,600. Home-cooked meals worth $4,800. Home and vehicle maintenance worth $3,000. Household management worth immeasurable amounts of stress reduction. Her economic contribution was huge. She just wasn't getting a paycheck for it. Sarah's getting a paycheck, but after you subtract the cost of earning it, she's contributing less than Jason's dad's wife did while working way harder. That's the fake wealth effect. Trap mechanism. 3. The dependence lock. This is the darkest part of the trap, and it's why escaping is so hard. When you structure your fixed costs around 2 incomes, you need 2 incomes forever. The mortgage requires both paychecks. The car payments require both paychecks. The childcare requires both paychecks. If either Sarah or Jason loses their job, they don't just lose that income. They lose everything. The house, the cars, the stability. Because there's no margin, there's no backup. Jason's dad could lose his job and the family would struggle, but they'd survive. The mortgage was $340 on a single income. They could tighten the belt, his wife could get a part-time job, they'd make it work. Sarah and Jason lose a job, they're immediately in crisis mode. Selling the car, breaking the lease, moving in with parents, blowing up their entire lives. Their employer knows this. When you go into a salary negotiation, your employer knows you can't leave. You can't afford even 1 month Without income, you have zero leverage. Jason's dad could say, "Give me a raise or I walk," and he could actually walk. His wife could work temporarily. They'd be fine. Sarah and Jason can't say that. They're trapped, and their employer knows it. So wages stay flat even as profits go up. The two-income trap doesn't just lock you into needing two incomes. It locks you into accepting whatever those incomes are, even when they're not enough. Trap mechanism 4. The exhaustion tax. Both Sarah and Jason work 45+ hours a week. Add in commuting, and they're gone from home 55 hours a week each. They're too tired to cook, so they spend $400 a month on takeout and delivery. They're too tired to clean, so they pay $200 a month for a cleaning service. They're too tired to do basic home maintenance, so they pay people for things Jason's dad did himself. They're too tired to pack lunches, so they spend $300 a month buying lunch at work. They're too tired to plan, so they pay $80 a month for meal kit subscriptions. Total exhaustion tax, about $980 a month, $11,760 a year. Jason's dad's wife had time. Time to cook. Time to clean. Time to plan. Time to save money by doing things instead of paying for them. That time was worth more than Sarah's second income contributes after costs. Trap mechanism 5. The opportunity cost. This is the one that'll make you angry. Sarah has been working for 12 years since college. She's contributed about $120,000 to the household after subtracting the cost of working. If instead of working, she had stayed home and they'd lived on Jason's income alone, they would have had to make different choices. Smaller apartment, one car, no fancy vacations, tighter budget. But here's what they would have gained. They could have bought a house at 3 times Jason's income instead of 5 times combined income. Instead of a $425,000 house, a $195,000 house. The mortgage payment on that house would be $1,300 instead of $2,800. That's $1,500 a month in savings. No childcare, $1,800 a month in savings. No second car payment, $350 a month in savings. No second car insurance and gas, $240 a month in savings. Reduced convenience spending, $400 a month in savings. Total monthly savings, $4,290. Over 12 years, that's $617,000 in avoided expenses. Sarah contributed $120,000 by working. They could have saved $617,000 by not working. The two-income trap cost them almost $500,000. But it gets worse. That $617,000 in savings could have been invested. At 7% over 12 years, that would be worth $1,140,000 today. Instead, they have $8,000 in savings and $47,000 in student loan debt. The opportunity cost of the two-income trap, over $1 million in wealth. Now you might be thinking, Sam, this is depressing. Are you saying Sarah should quit her job and stay home? No. I'm saying the system is designed to force you into a trap where two incomes feel necessary, but actually leave you worse off than one income used to. And the people who profit from this trap know exactly what they're doing. Who profits from the two-income trap? Banks profit. They lend you more money for the bigger house you need because you're competing against other dual-income families. More debt equals more interest. Childcare companies profit. You need full-time care because both parents work. That's $1,800 a month they collect. Car companies and lenders profit. You need 2 cars. That's 2 loans, 2 insurance policies, 2 sets of maintenance. The convenience economy profits. DoorDash, Uber Eats, meal kits, cleaning services. They exist because you're too exhausted from working to do it yourself. Your employer profits. You can't leave because you can't afford a single month without income. They don't have to pay you more. Your financial stress is their negotiating leverage. The education system profits. Your kids need college to get the good jobs to afford the two-income lifestyle. That's $100,000 in student loans per kid, times 2 parents, times 2 kids. That's $400,000 the system extracts. Real estate profits. Prices rise to absorb dual income purchasing power. Your house costs 5 times income instead of 2.5 times. The extra 2.5 times goes to sellers and agents. The two-income trap is a wealth extraction machine, and you're the product. So, what do you actually do about this? Strategy 1. Calculate your real second income. Take the second income. Subtract taxes at your marginal rate. Subtract childcare. Subtract the second car costs. Subtract commuting. Subtract convenience spending you wouldn't need if someone had time. If the number is less than $15,000 a year, you're working full-time for $1,250 a month. That's $7.20 an hour. You might be better off with one income and a drastically simplified life. Strategy 2. Structure fixed costs around one income. Even if both of you work, pretend one income doesn't exist for budgeting. Your mortgage or rent, your car payment, your fixed obligations, all of that has to fit in the lower of the two incomes. The second income? That's your savings, your investments, your emergency fund, your escape plan. This gives you the backup plan that Jason's dad had. If one of you loses a job, your life doesn't collapse. Strategy 3. Avoid the bidding war. Don't buy the house at the top of your dual income budget. Buy the house you could afford on one income if you had to. Will it be smaller? Will it be in a worse school district? Maybe. But you'll have margin. You'll have options. You'll sleep at night. Jason's dad didn't have the biggest house on the block. He had a house he could afford. That was enough. Strategy 4. Cut the exhaustion tax ruthlessly. Meal prep on Sundays so you're not ordering delivery all week. Buy a robot vacuum instead of paying for cleaning. Pack lunches. Make coffee at home. This isn't about being cheap. It's about not paying $12,000 a year because you're too tired from working to earn money to pay the exhaustion tax. Strategy 5. Question the premise. The system wants you to believe that two incomes are necessary, that you need the bigger house, the nicer cars, the better neighborhood. But Jason's dad raised kids in a smaller house. They turned out fine, better than fine. They had a parent who wasn't exhausted. They had home-cooked meals. They had stability. You're not failing because you can't afford what dual-income families could afford in 2005. You're trapped in a system that redefined middle-class life to require two incomes, then made two incomes not enough. Look, I get it. Telling someone to consider living on one income in 2026 sounds insane. It sounds like telling someone to go back to the 1950s. But here's the thing. The 1950s single-income family was better off financially than the 2026 dual-income family. That's not nostalgia, that's math. Jason's dad had margin. He had options. He had time. He had a backup plan. He built wealth. Sarah and Jason have stress. They have exhaustion. They have no margin. They have no backup plan. They're transferring wealth to everyone else. Same work ethic. Same education. Opposite results. That's not because Sarah and Jason are doing something wrong. It's because the game changed and nobody told them. The two-income trap is real. It's mathematical. And it's designed to keep you running on a treadmill forever while everyone else collects. Bob Invests showed how the system works. I'm showing you the full cost. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you understand it, you can make different choices. Maybe that means one of you quits and you live smaller. Maybe that means you both keep working but structure your life like you're not. Maybe that means you refuse to play the game the way they designed it. But whatever you do, stop assuming that two incomes are automatically better than one. The math says they're not. Your stress level says they're not. And your bank account definitely says they're not. The system wants you making just enough to afford the payments, not enough to escape them. Two incomes make you the perfect extraction target. Prove them wrong. If this video showed you the trap you're in, hit subscribe. I break down the systems that keep people stuck and the math to escape. Comment below, are you in the two-income trap? What does your real second income actually net after all the costs? And if you want to calculate your exact numbers, I built a two-income trap calculator. Link in the description. Put in your salaries, your costs, see the real math. I'll see you in the next one.